Hi guys, welcome to the Nomad Kitchen, where we learn food from all over the world. For this season, as you see, we have a table full of ingredients that are from different parts of the world, and what we are going to do is explore in 8 episodes what are the origins of the preparations of our favorite meals, some of them very simple and some of them that are easy to carry. Most of them are vegetarian, so spoiler alert, you are going to probably become a vegetarian after this show. For today, we are going to make pesto. That is something very well known for all of us. It's used around the world to spread on breads, for pasta, and for other delicious preparations. Before going there, first remember to subscribe and to share this video to all your friends and to make sure that everybody knows about kitchen that is including ingredients for all over the world. My name is Alvaro, but you can call me Alf, and you will find my social media here, and this is the Nomad Kitchen. Welcome. For this recipe, we are going to use basil, peanuts, garlic, pecorino cheese, and olive oil. First thing you need to do is to find a container like this, or maybe a food processor, or something that you can use to grind all the ingredients at once. What we are going to do is to put basically the garlic, the basil, some cheese, and some peanuts. After we have all the ingredients, we are going to put olive oil just to hydrate the mix and make sure that they grind properly. So a few explanations of this. Where basil comes from? Basil comes from India. The first origins of the domestication of basil was like in the Roman Empire and back in the time when they used to trade with different things that they would find around the world. Basil was found in India and it's part and a traditional part of most of the meals there. Now, the pecorino cheese is originally from Sardinia, an island located in Italy that back in that time was not part of what currently is the country. Then we find, of course, the peanuts. The peanuts are original from South America and from other parts of the world with more or less the same temperature. Especially, for example, here in Africa, we find a lot of preparations with peanuts. And like as you know, like the famous peanut butter is very delicious and very well known here. We go to the olives, and the olives were found for first time in Syria and Turkey, and this is where the original recipe of the olive oil comes from. We are mixing here fruit that comes from basically more or less 5 countries in the world, and this is what the result is of basil pesto. Also, another interesting thing, like before finishing, is that this was used to be named at the same time or parallel in the Middle Age, agliata. One thing that was prepared in the Genovese region and that later on was like changed for a pesto. What's the main difference of agliata? That they used to have Hollandaise cheese that was like more common in that part of the region of the Mediterranean countries, and like all those northern cheese and so were more famous. That the cheese that was introduced after, that is all these amazing cheese that we have tried, that is a pecorino. After you have the food processor well sealed, we go and we grind it. As you notice, what we have is something that is more or less liquid. The reason why I do it like this is because then I can add the other components as I wish to make it thicker or lighter. And in this case, what I will add is more basil to the same mix that I've already prepared previously. And finally salt, that is to taste. Some people add salt, but in my case I just add a little bit after everything is mixed because of the pecorino cheese that is quite salty. And that has already like different components, plus the flavor of the garlic and other flavors, like for example the nuts that we have placed there, that can be a bit strong. Now, one interesting thing that we should know is that the first register of the current recipe of the pesto was actually not Genova or Genoa like they call it in Italy. It was actually registered in the Roman Empire, in the ancient Roman Empire, and before was called Moretum. Now, when the time passed and when they finally broke the basil from India, they created this recipe in Genova, and it was actually, it had actually a first register in a book called The Genovese Cuisine in 1863. This is the modern recipe of pesto. Some people will for example, mix cashew nuts. Some people will put macadamia nuts. For the type of nuts that you use, it doesn't really matter. But when it comes to the olive oil and to the pesto, those are things that you really need to have in order to get a very good recipe. And this was basil pesto. Please remember to subscribe, to share, and to interact with this post. Welcome and thanks so much for being here in the Nomad Kitchen.